The internet is powerful. How powerful? Well, it can turn a nobody into a celebrity. It can turn G.I. Joe into a pedophile, and it can kill a deer with a space bar. I am Mr. Internet, and I am here to shepherd you through the vast and bizarre expanses of cyberspace. I'm not a shepherd. I'm not in the Shepherd's Guild. I don't have a staff of any sort, and I don't have sheep, but I'll shepherd my ass off, and you should come along. You know what frustrates me is there's a certain kind of person out there that's just, they're cool. They're inherently cool. They know where to find new music. Maybe new music knows where to find them. I don't know. I'm not one of those people. If I'm left to my own devices, I'm gonna be listening to Tool for the next 35 years. I don't wanna be like Slayer guy, you know, because I'm a dork, okay? So I have to rely on other means to find new music. It's embarrassing to have to go up to somebody and ask them, because essentially what you're telling them is, hey, I'm Dave, I'm irrelevant. I have to use my real name, you're gonna stalk me, God. Enter Pandora. Great way to find new music. You can put in one song you like, and Pandora will essentially create an entire radio station based on that song. Like, I love a band called Clutch. They're from Maryland. They're a little obscure. I don't like them because they're obscure. I hate people that like stuff that's obscure just because it is obscure. Clutch is a great rock band. I entered them, and, you know, Opiate by Tool came up. Now I'm familiar with that, but cool, I'd like to hear it. Also, Cold Cold by The Like Young came up. Never heard of it. But I guarantee you it's going to be something that I like because it's based on this Clutch stuff. Of course, it's not going to be able to like extrapolate what you're into based on the one song, but it's pretty amazing how close it gets. And if it gets it a little wrong, I can click on that and eliminate that. So it gets smarter, it learns, and eventually creates the ultimate radio station just for me, all without the embarrassment of having to ask somebody 2 decades younger than me what's cool.
You think I can have some more?
Yeah, we should totally hit it again, but I get first dibs on it.
Hey, kid! I do not say to play with the internet when your mom is not home.
To me come on, put me nearly dead with
Kid,
laugh.
the internet be all around you, Rastafari.
I watch the people rush the door like
All day I'm
Stop
drinking the internet, never shoot urine, no.
No!
G.I. Joe! What are you thinking? I'm on prescription medication. Yes. How much did I take? More than it said. Was it even a prescription for me? No, it wasn't. I love the internet because the internet doesn't care. The internet loves weird. It embraces weird. It blows weird up. Case in point, Eric Fensler and his wonderfully twisted G.I. Joe public service announcement.
Oh man, check out that thing, man.
What do you want to do with it?
Let's launch over it.
Who wants a body massage?
What did he just say to us?
Hello, Mr. Body Massage Machine. Go!
What the hell?
Body massage.
G.I. Joe! I'm on with Eric Fensler. And Eric, you know, for the uninitiated, can you explain, you know, what these G.I. Joe things are?
It's just an art piece that I made, and then I put it up on the internet for people to look at.
So, like, how did this thing get started? Were you thinking, hey, this is gonna be this thing I make and it's gonna blow up on the internet, or did you just make one because it was fun?
No. The first one that I made was the kid gets lost at the circus, and so I made that one, and we were all laughing. So I had 24 more, and I just said, well, why don't I just do them all?
You guys must have laughed your asses off putting a lot of these things together.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I think the best moment that I'll never forget was when I first made the body massage one. I put it on a VHS tape and then took it home and sat down with my roommate, and we watched Body Massage maybe 30 times in a row. I thought it was very funny. If you could turn Roadblock into Body Massage, you've done society a valuable service. I mean, that's like that's the most badass G.I. Joe that was ever created. And now I officially have made him dishing out body massages, so mission accomplished.
I like to use this kind of stuff as a filter of whether I'll even get along with somebody. And if you don't get this, I'm not sure that I even want to talk to you, you know?
Okay, I take that as a compliment.
it was definitely intended as one. But do you find that there's a certain, that certain people just don't understand it?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I run into people that are just like, I don't get it, sorry.
I heard that Hasbro, whatever, hit you with like a cease and desist.
They said, please remove all G.I. Joe PSAs off the internet or we will press charges. So I just took them off of my website, but people had already downloaded them off of my website and posted them elsewhere. And at the time I was kind of over it because I just didn't want to be known as this guy that just makes G.I. Joe PSAs. I wanted to make something else. So it was a good way of like putting that to rest.
That's a good opportunity for me to ask my next question is what do you have going on right now? What are you doing next? What do you got in the hopper?
Well, I'm working on this TV show on Adult Swim I write for. It's called Tim and Eric, awesome show, great job.
I think it's a masterstroke to build the review into the title of the show. I mean, it sort of disarms the critics. So I'm not going to ask you how it is. It's obviously awesome, but I do plan on tuning in. And I want to thank you for taking the time to talk to us. We love your stuff and excited to see what's coming from you next.
Oh, thanks.
Mom, Dad, come here, you gotta see this. This is so good.
G.I. Joe! Sometimes the internet ain't so great. For one thing, it's helped facilitate identity theft. And we have perhaps the most notorious identity thief of all time with us, Abraham Abdallah. He's our first ever incarcerated guest. Abe, can you hear me? Abe, you there? So, what is your name?
Well, I have many names.
In that case, what would you like to be called?
You can call me whatever you like.
What prompted you to steal other people's identities?
I don't like the word stealing, and I don't agree with it. I've never stolen anyone's identity. I've appropriated it for a more admirable use.
So you're saying you stole these people's identities not for their money, but for a greater societal good?
I'm not going to answer you if you keep using the word steal. You said steal, and I said not to say steal, and then you said stole, which is just another form of the same word. So stop saying that.
Sorry, no, not stole, appropriated other
I
people's
feel like
identities.
It's like I'm doing a community service. These celebrities have a lot of power and a lot of money, but I don't feel that they always use it for good. So I like to steer the ship, if you will, right the ship in many cases.
The internet makes it all so much easier. I mean, I don't have to show up outside somebody's house and literally dig through their trash. There's plenty of digital refuse to sift through. It's all right there online.
You have sort of borrowed the lives of many celebrities, Warren Buffett, Oprah, Ted Turner, Steven Spielberg. When you take over somebody else's identity, I mean, how much of that is you? What does it feel like?
When I take over Spielberg and I'm inside him, and yeah, maybe that makes you uncomfortable, that phrase, inside him. Well, I was. And what I did with him when I was through being inside him, or while I was inside him, was amazing. I purchased a lot of things on Amazon. I refurbished part of my patio, all with his money.
When you assume this many identities, what happens to your own? Who do you see when you look in the mirror?
I see myself wearing a costume of a celebrity, so it's like a plastic face that looks like Oprah, but with my eyes behind it, making better decisions.
When you were Oprah, you instantly became the voice for millions of housewives across America. How did that feel?
It felt weird to be Oprah because I wasn't sure whether I was going to be the fat Oprah or the skinnier Oprah. Her head stays fat all the time, so that part of me was able to stay, grounded. But I didn't know, am I the Oprah that ran a marathon, or am I the Oprah that blew through a bag of Little Debbie's powdered donuts? I didn't know.
You've successfully masqueraded as many people. Do you have any failures? What about MTV? What about Sumner Redstone?
The truth is, MTV doesn't play enough music videos anymore. And I tried to correct that by taking over that individual's identity and reprogramming the station back to music instead of reality. It didn't work. Gandhi messed up a lot. He had a lot of failures. A lot of people don't know that. Okay, he hit people all the time. You don't see that in the books, so I sort of resent you bringing this up. But if you want to sit here and make this negative, that's fine.
Ted Turner, awesome body, thick mustache, super wealthy. What was that like?
When I first assumed Ted Turner's identity, I knew right away what I wanted to do with it, and that's to eliminate the chop. The Atlanta Braves, he owns that team, and they do a chop gesture, and I thought if we can get that to more of a closed fist, almost like a punch, like an air punch, heart punch, like, ugh!
You know what? You're not that bad, Abraham.
I don't know who you're referring to.
I'm starting to be a fan.
I'm not Abe. You're talking to me? Well, you better address me as Mr. Internet, because I'm Mr. Internet.
That's who I am next. That's who I am now. I got my own show. Never mind that nobody watches it. I'm me. You want to be me? I'm somebody. Hoo-ah! Mr. Internet. Who stole who? Huh? We just took the identity of an identity thief. It's identity thief theft. Next level stuff here on the Mr. Internet Show.
You got mail.
You got mail.
You got mail.
It seems like every variety show or talk show has a segment where the host cuts to some mail and then reads that mail. Well, since we've never had an original thought on the show here, we're going to do the same thing, only with email. I'm going to open an email here from Jeff Benjamin in Longmont, Colorado. Let's see what Jeff has to say. All right, well, that's not Jeff, it's Rick Astley. How do I... Rick Astley is now on my screen. I can't get him off. He's dancing. He's got a lot of hair fixative in. He's got, well, he moves in a way that I'd rather not talk about. He's lit in a way that makes me feel funny about myself. And I hate this, and I want to get it off my screen, and every time I try, it won't go away. And I will let someone go. We have a small staff here, but we can get it done with one less person. All right, we're going to try to resolve this, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, you can hunt from your laptop, kill a real deer by hitting the space bar. Join us shortly.
Next stop, Mr. Internet.
Oh, man. Imagine if you could sit down in front of your laptop, log onto a website, enter your username and password, hit a space bar, and 2,000 miles away, a baby deer is hit with a 30-06 slug, squeals in pain, and drops to the ground. Blood shoots out of its nostrils, and it falls. All right. No, fuck, dude. Our next guest, John Lockwood, invented a way for the internet to literally kill living things. So John Lockwood, what is up with this whole web hunting thing? I mean, can you first explain this to me, because I'm having a hard time even getting my head around it. Is it you attach a real gun somehow to a computer and a guy hits a space bar in Boston and drops a deer in Texas? Is that a fair encapsulation of your service?
That is very, very simplified version of it. Yeah, it's not quite that easy because we had a lot of security things to go through. I mean, it wasn't just that you could log on and be ready. It was set up as an actual hunting type situation to where it would have been no different if you had come into into the ranch in Texas and sat in the blind with us. You would have to schedule all that ahead of time. You would have to have all your licenses.
What sparked this idea for you? Why did you decide I need to make this site?
It just clicked in my head that, hey, it can be done, and it would be great for people that did not have the opportunity to hunt in I guess, the more conventional way that we were doing it.
So that clicking in your head, did that sound anything like the safety being released on a 30-06?
Right, yeah, almost exactly the same thing. That click, yep.
While this thing was operational, how many deer got snuffed out? What's the body count?
One of the guys that I worked with, he shot a hog with the system. There's only one other animal, and it was taken the day before the law was signed, and that was by a handicapped hunter.
Literally 2 animals were taken, and it sounds like you were banned in 33 states.
It was amazing that, they could move so quickly on something like this when they could barely do anything else that really mattered to the entire nation.
Well, when you can cause the archaic legal system to leap into action that quickly, I think there's no more surefire sign that you've got a great idea on your hands.
So that's exactly what my wife was telling me at the same time. It's probably an idea that's ahead of its time, but hopefully that, with some understanding and understanding that, over time it may pan out. So that's keeps me encouraged.
Now, I heard your next project involves human beings and paintball guns, where you can actually control a paintball gun from your laptop and try to shoot an actual live human. Is that the case?
We were actually working on that. Just changed the system around, use the same cameras. It worked fantastically with paintball, but yes, it worked very well on people.
I'm glad to hear it worked on people, and I love the entrepreneurial spirit. They shut down the animal thing, you just ramp it up to actual people.
To actual people, right?
I heard it was girls in bikinis and guys dressed up like Michael Jackson. I mean, could you really shoot girls in bikinis?
They would actually agree to it, and we warned them ahead of time, and that it was going to sting.
It's nice to know they agreed to it, that you didn't just abduct them and shove them out there.
No. They all were fully aware of what was going to happen.
If there were girls in bikinis, were you using feeders? I know you mentioned with the deer there was a feeding system, like you put like cotton candy out for them or something.
Or cotton candy, or a little bit of chocolate or something like that.
Listen, man, I put that up there with a man on the moon and the development of penicillin. Like if I can hit my space bar and put welts on cleavage, like you can have my credit card number. Well, listen, John Lockwood, man, a pleasure talking to you. Definitely a man ahead of your time, and wish you all the best with any future ventures, because we need your kind of thinking, in my humble opinion.
Well, I sure appreciate taking the time to talk with you also. It's been a real pleasure also.
All right, take care.
All right.
Next stop, Mr. Internet.
It's peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at?
The internet is a crazy place where like-minded people can get together. I mean, people find each other, and those people are into the same weird thing. Normally, they would probably be persecuted and driven below ground, but they can celebrate en masse on the internet. You've got gay midgets that like Ally McBeal. You've got people that are into dirty jokes about dolphins. And you've got people that love cats. People dress them up. They put them to music. They dub voices over them. They manipulate them in post. There's a cat that looks like Hitler. Kittler. Not making it up. Anyway, I don't know what it is about the web and cats, but when those two intersect, weird things happen. It's so amazing how a person's voice is lined up with the mouth of the cat, and then there's an interplay between the characters. It's scintillating.
Cat. I'm a kitty cat.
I hate the person that made this. Like, I hate the cat. I hate the execution.
I'm a kitty cat.
Like, the person that made this watches it and laughs and laughs and laughs. Could you imagine having to spend time with this person?
Cat. I'm a kitty cat.
I hate cats. And maybe that's not right to say, but you know what's not right? Lying to your audience. So I don't like cats, and I'm not sure that I like people that like cats. In fact, I know that I don't like them either. But I can buy into cats a little when they're manipulated on the internet, when people dress them up and force them to do things that it's clear that they don't want any part of doing. Then I can get behind cats, or at least I can get behind the discomfort of cats. But I'm not one of these guys that's gonna put like 30 cats in a hefty bag and throw them into a body of water. That's not how I roll. If you dropped a cat off of a building, it would land on its feet, but would the feet be driven through it on impact? I've asked myself that, and I've looked on the web and I have no information. But I'm willing to get some empirical research done.
Then what's your name, little boy?
I want a BB gun, and I want you to not smell like wild turkey, and not breathe on me, and not touch me. And I want a sandwich with the crust cut off, and I want... When you're a kid, they tell you this thing about Santa Claus, and it's the coolest thing in your life. And then you grow up to learn it's a lie, and you're hurt, and you never recover, and I haven't. Look, I hate to talk about Christmas now because Christmas is over and I know we all kind of want to put it in the rearview mirror. But seriously, shopping online for Christmas, I wonder, by eliminating the mall, have we in effect eliminated Christmas? It's weird, you know? Yeah, it's convenient. Yeah, it's easy. Yeah, you just go to Amazon.com and you avoid that trip to the mall. But I think Christmas happens at the mall. I think you're cheating yourself at Christmas by doing your shopping online. I mean, the best part of Christmas is cruising around the mall, having a candy cane, sitting on Santa's lap if you're under 17, maybe 11. Christmas isn't our idea of it. It's not chestnuts roasting and sleigh rides. It's going to interact with a mall Santa that smells like wild turkey. It's walking into Brookstone and buying some kind of a $37 nail file that's made out of mahogany and was designed by indigenous peoples in Papua New Guinea. Christmas is all about the mall. And if you're not there, you're missing out. That's just my opinion. You heard it here first. Stop Christmas shopping online. Get your ass down to the mall.
Hey, listen, thanks for joining us. So that's it for the Mr. Internet Show. We'll see you next time.